Right, folks, showbiz news. You might be happening. What's happening on the showbiz front today? Well, I've got 3 quick stories for you, just 3. But before I start, I've got a question for you. Christine Lampard. Is she good mates with that Laura Whitmore? Are they best of pals, bosom buddies? I think they must be. Do you know? I mean, I don't know. I'm seriously asking you. Did anyone see that interview she did this morning on Lorraine's show with Giovanni Pernice? Did you see that? She said, we've got Giovanni in now, and he's going to tell us everything. It's his first interview since it all kicked off, and since the Beaver have, done the findings and done what they've done and exonerated him with most of the charges. It's his first interview on British TV, and we've got it. Anyway, talk about interview, talk about dragging him over the coals. It must have been 15-20 minutes long. I have never heard her have a pop at anybody in my life before. She's very, very middle of the road, is Christine, or some might say vanilla. Very much that way. But she went for him in a big way, because she asked question after question after question about old Amanda Abbington. That's, or is that Abbington? It doesn't really matter, does it? But then she said, he said he's going to answer everything, she said at the start. He's going to answer everything. So she asked question after question. And, well, Amanda said this. What have you got to say about that? Amanda said this. She said, all right. But while we're at it, Laura Whitmore, she went to the BBC and she had things to say about you. And she said this, and she said that, and she said this, and she said she's doing it for the good of all future contestants. What have you got to say about that? Well, some have said they thought he was smoking in parts. I think it was like a false thing to try and hide his part disgust and more uncomfortableness. He was squirming a little bit because I think he thought to himself, we wasn't going to be discussing Laura Whitmore or anything else, anybody else. That wasn't put to me before we started. I think there'd have been a few people that said, I'm not asking questions about that. We're on about Amanda. We're not going into it that much now. But no, credit to him. He stayed there. He was squirming, but he stayed there and he answered every question, tried to bat everything back. But I thought she really attacked him. I thought she went for him really, really hard. And I thought it was a very, very one-sided interview. Something that I've never seen of her before. And I thought, is she a good pal of this Whitmore? Because she's really going for him. Really sticking the boot in. I'm sure they'd have had words off camera at the end. I'm pretty sure they would have done. Anyway, he stuck to his guns and she sort of said to him, do you think you should change your training methods? And he said no. He said, I am hard, I am harsh with people, it's the way I do it. He said, but I have success. And when they sign up for the show, they know or should know that. Have you got any regrets? Well, maybe some, but at the end of the day, I'm not a bad person, he said, and I've been asked not to say anything about anything while the old investigation's been going on, and for my part, I've done that. He was insinuating Amanda couldn't stop talking, and he's right. They were both told to say nothing. Every opportunity she's had, she's been having a go. He's not done that. He wasn't throwing anything back at her. Thought he was very nice, very calm and level-headed for all he was squirming. And I thought to myself, you know what? Every time they talk to her, she mudslings, and she really goes for him in a really aggressive way. But I think the people that interview her are really soft and really gentle with her and really nice. Probably because they read she's had mental health problems. But I thought to myself, I'll tell you what, they treat her a lot differently than old Christine's treating this fella today. I thought it went a bit far, it was a bit unfair. And it's the kind of interview I do like normally. But I like it when it's even, when they're doing it to both protagonists. And I think old Amanda's had an easy run of it with her interviews compared to what he had today. Just thought, what are you saying? Right, what about, who's the woman? Kat. Old Kat Deeley on this morning. Yesterday, I seen her and I thought to myself again, I thought, who's dressed you today? I mean, the whole outfits, they look bad. But the belt bit, the bit around the waist looked atrocious. Then I've seen pictures of her this morning and he's at the Pride of Britain Awards and you're thinking, who's designed that? I'm not even sure Rod Stewart's designer wouldn't design that for you. It was that bad. That's how bad it was. It probably worse than most anything Rod's ever worn. Probably. I say probably. It's a close thing. When the wing got it's like a parachute at the back. It looked terrible on her. Hung terribly. Looked terrible on her. Didn't flatter her one bit. But today, on this morning, oh my God. It is definitely worse than anything Rod's ever wore. It looked absolutely shocking. And was it cold on set or was it warm? What do you get when they protrude? You know, when they look like wing nuts? Is it cold or is it warm? I can't remember. It was one or the other. It just didn't look good at all. The top half looked bad. Even with or without the wing nuts, it weren't good. But the bottom half, them trousers, whose style then? They look like something that rapper wore years ago. You know, I can't think of his name. You know who I mean. With the big balloon pants and stuff. You know who I mean. I can't think. Don't really matter, does it? And lastly, did you hear that over the last couple of days? I heard it over the last couple of days. Meant to cover it today. Is it old Katie Piper? She's the young lady off Loose Women. Nice girl. Seems a really, really nice girl. I don't know, for the last few years, after the acid attack and whatever else. Anyway, they were talking over the last few days about social media and the perils of social media. And do they call them the trolls that come on there and try to make your life a misery? She's had one on there in the last few days. I read about it before they actually talked about it yesterday. And this troll has been on there saying to her, "You don't look good, Katie. You know, looks like you've got a false eye there. And your face isn't good. It's not good. It must be awful living like that. You know, it must be terrible. If I were you, I'd go to a 3rd or 4th floor window and throw myself out." He may not have been quite that, but it was very similar to that. And you think, what a sick bugger that must be, eh? I mean, the lady's been through most everything. She keeps her chin up throughout it all, tries to remain positive and does a lot of work for others suffering with the same kind of stuff, with the old acid attacks. A real model patient, a really nice young lady who's put up with a hell of a lot in her lifetime. What kind of person would put that on social media? There are some sickos out there, folks. They really, really are. It's shocking, it is, honestly. Felt sorry for the girl, I did. I really did. Nice girl, no harm to nobody. And that's it, folks. I've not got much else to tell you. Not much else is happening out there. I am getting a bit of, not trolled, people having a little go at me myself today based on one I did only the other day on that. Is it Ben Yeo or something? I don't even know his name, from GB News. He was having his own two-penneth about Liam Payne's sad demise. He wasn't as sad as some people are. I'm going on to that one back in the next one. But I'm not going to have a go at anybody, and I can take whatever they say. I'm just going to put a couple of people right, really, more than anything else. But hope you're all well, folks. I really do. And I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I'll be here. Well, I'll be somewhere.